unveiling.
Okay. Well, we are live. Woo. Okay. Online unveiling, Kitty says. So,
Uh-huh. Because we're both having a not a bad day, but a
no, no.
just a stop and pause and
Yeah, just a little caution to the wind type of day.
mhm.
Let's see. Look at the comments up there. Whoops.
Let
There
me
we go.
see if and I
All right.
you guys almost missed a treat because it was so warm here. All of a sudden I realized, oh, I'm going on air.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's not ask about that, shall we now?
No, no, that's those are private thoughts. Um, things you used to say to children. Those are private thoughts. So
Oh,
it's
goodness.
warm
Okay.
here.
Well, it's my day's been kind of mixed. Like it started out really, really good. I had some things I wanted to get done and I got to it. It's been a beautiful day here. Has not been hot. I even had that Lizzo song, going through my mind, do my hair flip, check my nails. Baby, how you doing? Doing good as hell. That
How,
kept playing through my mind. Well, and then when the message I got this morning was it was weird because Spirit said yes, yes, yes. And I said to him, what does that mean? And they said, well, the answer to your questions today will be yes. But be careful what you ask for. And I thought, okay, so that makes sense. I had to think about because then how my day ended, like almost immediately prior to getting on here, um, I had a couple things, retrograde things, maybe, I don't know, garage door, refrigerator, this kind of thing. But thankfully, we had another refrigerator, so I was able to, in my garage, just haul everything out and cleaned it out at the same time. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. But so it's been kind of a crazy day. Like it's felt like there's been a lot of that step into your step into your authentic self. What is it that you want? It's kind of time to brush off a little bit of that Leo glam and glitz, and just put yourself out there. But then it's duality. I think there's a balance here, but then there was that energy, like, how are you going to react to these things? Yeah. How are you going to react to these things, that happened right before I came on? And so I said to Kitty, I don't even know what my message was this morning. I mean, really, it kind of like completely went out the window. So I had to kind of settle myself a little bit. But I didn't get upset about it because it's like, those things happen. And I told Kitty that I've got a refrigerator in the garage, or she'd been going on live by herself because I would have been hauling somewhere to get ice, pack
and
my
that would have
stuff.
and that would have been just
Um,
a continuation of my day. My vibe for the day was I did something that was enjoyable and helped somebody out. I spent the day with my mother-in-law and took her different places, and she went to see her sister who's turning 91 actually. And but my mother-in-law was giving directions, and it was hysterical because and I would start to
right.
do yeah, we'd start to do something, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting directions from you again, and we both burst out laughing because we knew that it was just very sideways. And every time we went somewhere, it was either closed or it was closed for
And something that
Monday.
she remembered.
Yeah,
I know how my mom is at 87.
you know, um, but even the things we got to were closed or closed for Monday because of shortage in help, or a whole store was completely gone. Like, wow, Shaw's is gone, and we did laugh, and really, that is about today. Our relationship energy was not into expansion. Nope. It just wanted us to see the beauty and where we are. That's what it was. It held it at
I
bay.
I do think that feels like today, but I feel like there is some, at least for me, I'm getting some I'm feeling like that's coming though, that there will be some this week. But today it was kind of like I saw both sides. I saw
Well,
feeling that expansion and stuff, or just feeling like getting ready to wanting to do some things and then being held back, and almost like oh, let's see how you're going to react to this kind of thing, almost like a check-in kind of thing, like, where, how are you going to react to this? The same way with you, though. You could have reacted getting upset and, getting frustrated and, annoyed or something with your mother-in-law, but
or anybody
you
else
know,
around us, the person in line who didn't speak
yeah,
any English, the line of 12 people who had 80 items,
yeah, yeah.
it just, it was also a mirror of, I thought a lot about past behaviors and past ways I might have reacted to it. And that is in the stars. And I'm not surprised, though, for you, Amy, because this is a big Taurus windup
Hmm.
right now,
Yeah.
starting about the
Well,
24th
and
until about the 3rd. So,
the thing about, the whole Lizzo coming up is if you know her story and stuff like that, I guess I just feel like her songs, although they can be a little crude. She swears a lot and says some pretty raunchy things, but overall, they're actually like good messages about self-esteem and just this kind of thing. At least some of them are that I've listened to. So um, I don't know. She just pumped me up a little bit. But let's look at the cards, because Metatron is exactly saying what we're talking about here.
I'm hearing
Number
go
two,
for it. Like,
number
go
two,
for what? So,
yeah, review and reflection, time out needed. Okay. And I guess this is what we were just saying. We reflected back on, in the past, I might have had a different reaction to all of this, in all of this stuff going on. So it is kind of bringing it back, and saying, okay, let's review. And yeah, Robin, she keeps it real. But let's review and reflect on some of those things. I I really feel like that was definitely for today, and for this week. There might be a lot of points where we need to go back and review and reflect. And number 5 was communication. Speak up and be heard. I also felt like, okay, the answer was yes, yes, yes. Be careful of the question. All right, so how are we talking to ourselves? What are we telling ourselves? And what are we, what words are we using for ourselves? And again, Lizzo keeps it real, but she also, is really self confident in a way that not everybody is. So I also feel that there's that authentic self kind of message coming through. And so speak up and be heard. Let yourself be seen authentically. Because number 47, blessings and thanks, the abundant universe. And I do feel that right now there is opportunities out there. There is abundance out there. There are blessings out there. Like I said, I can say that I was blessed with a second refrigerator, or it would have completely thrown my night off, but those are those kind of things. I was blessed that I could just take all the stuff out, clean my refrigerator, and put everything in a different one. But so there is some abundance and blessings, I feel like, as well too. And we're just kind of being, it almost feels like, and I'm really surprised that duality card didn't come out, because I almost feel like there's that both sides of that energy right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're asking you to step out, be your authentic self, but also review and reflect and see, what does that mean for you? How do you react to certain things? Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's weird energy, and I'm sure Kitty will be able to explain it. And then the tarot cards that I pulled were the 10 of Swords. Can you see the 10 of Swords? Okay, so this is about endings. This is about um, uh, well, this is about resilience, but this is also, 10 of Swords, about things maybe ending, difficulties. some things that are happening in your life that maybe aren't so ooey gooey, warm and fuzzy kind of thing. But we've talked about this a million times, and we always talk about this. You have to go through these things because a lot of it is healing for you, but also to know, to give you that push to go out and say, all right, what is my authentic self? How am I speaking to myself, telling myself things that I can do? Because really, we are the ones that limit ourselves,
Mhm.
by the way we speak and our actions and stuff. So it's looking at that, and then there were the four of swords, and so there is some rest period in there, and this is where you're reflecting. This is where you have time to review and reflect, is when you're kind of pulling back and taking a good look at what it is you want, and consequently what it is you don't want in your life anymore. So it's kind of, that as well. And what I really like about this card is, even though they're asking you to pull back and maybe take a rest, and maybe everything that you are going for is not going to happen right now, this week, doesn't mean you can't make some progress towards it, but maybe it's just not going to come to full fruition this week. The heart is in the nest with her. And so that always reminds me of that. Even though you can pull back and take a rest, the heart, the thing that really, whoops, wrong side, the thing that you really desire or you really want, or your heart, is right there by her. It hasn't been thrown out of the nest, it hasn't been thrown away. It's just she set it down for a moment so she could rest. So when she wakes, when she's in a better position, she can pick it back up and proceed and keep going from where she's at. That's kind of what it feels like. There might be some times where you're going to be asked to slow down, pause, reflect, review, but know that everything that you're working towards is still right there with you and right there within your reach and in your grasp. They're not saying stop and throw it all out. They're just saying put it down maybe for a minute. You might be called to do that. And then we have the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is just about, I really feel the King of Cups is wisdom, intelligence. It doesn't look like there's a lot of stress there. So he's just saying, let the boat float. Yup. I've got my little bowl I'm ringing my finger on, and I'm just taking some, maybe a pause, but all is not lost. He's got a beautiful um, yellow surrounding him, that whole solar plexus idea. So it's not about, so that's where it's hard for me, because I'm feeling that conflicting energy. I'm feeling like it's like, yes, discover who your authentic self is, toss your hair back, check your nails, have a badass day. But also it's saying, but just slow down, maybe reflect and review. But the blessings and the abundance from the universe is coming. So maybe Kitty can clarify, because again, I feel I'm so shocked that the duality card did not come out, because that's what I'm feeling. But Kitty, let us know what you got in the stars, sister.
Well, first thing is I went to write a note to go back to your cards, and I pulled out my eyebrow pen. So that's where I am, So it's just, it is so accurate. There's a magic. I noticed my eyes are sparkling. There's just a laughter to today that is just, if you can get into the lighthearted, that's I think the duality. As much as there's this, it's coming. There's a piece today that says, yeah, it's coming. But
Tip your hair back, check your nails.
yeah, stand in the 12 speedy line for an hour because, I mean, it's just the
Because
way it
someone
is.
can't count.
Well, they actually didn't speak English, so they can't. They
Oh.
couldn't read the express line, and the cashier didn't feel like telling them. So hey, who am I? I didn't get out of the line. I just waited. So I mean, and it's interesting because you pulled that 5, which is the 5th house. That's Leo. It's that creative, what makes us roar, but at the same time, what has us stepping back to take in the landscape before we appear. And 47 is an 11, and that's the 11th house of blessings, which was exactly what the card was.
Yeah,
So,
abundant universe.
Yeah, it's a waning moon energy. We're getting ready we're letting go of those final things that we're coming to this new moon, and that's the big player this week, is this new moon on Thursday. And it also, Jupiter goes retrograde the same time. So this is the moon of evaluate the big why. So I think that's kind of what we're doing. It is the duality. We're kind of looking at the why. Like, yes, these things are coming. This is all it means, but what's my why? What is it I want to be into? What is it I'm participating in? And there's a sparkle in it if you can tap into it. I mean, you had quite a few things you could have been really upset about, and you didn't.
Oh yeah.
And me too. It's like, okay, I guess today is just go with the flow and
touch your head, check your nails, baby. How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, and the cards, just like the cards say, there's a rest in here. We're floating down the stream, and we're still on that pace, but we're moving. So today's energy really was that Venus, which is relationship, beauty. It's very Taurus. Really was being held by starting things. It wasn't really asking. There are things coming, but today was not the day to start. Today was kind of to do exactly what we did. We'll just do that. And I think that's also to get us ready, because as the change is rapid, we're going to need to be able to do that in the moment and not get washed down the stream by the rapids. And tomorrow, what is working together is the moon with Venus tomorrow. They are in conjunct, that Cancer energy and our Cancer relationship in its where. And the will is being held at bay tomorrow. Our will with our communication. So tomorrow really is about looking where our self-will is. That 10 of Swords is perfect. Looking where it is and looking at what it is for us, what it is for us to do. It is a beginning. It is a beginning with a different relationship with ourselves of the future, not just healing of the past anymore. This is about ourselves of the future is the relationship. And we're in the time of Leo.
Yes, that's perfectly said. Perfectly said.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. I keep using the word nexesters because I can't come up with one. But it's ourselves of the future and our grandchildren of the future. That's the energy we're holding now. And so tomorrow we'll have a really nice little glimpse of that as we get very close to this 31st, which is this big conjunction of that swinging of that energy. And this moon is intentions in evaluating the big why. Why do I want this? What is it I want? And even more clarity coming in, even though we're kind of at this being asked to really pause about it. And it's deep thoughts, deep energy that is coming forth. And there, the conjunction of the moon with Uranus activating. What in the chaos, which we did this today, what in the chaos is there for me to nurture for myself and learning to sit with it? That's not easy in Western civilization.
It's funny how you said that, because I was thinking, insert a different word. What in the chaos is?
Yeah. What in the chaos is going on? And
what in the chaos is going?
And that's really what it was. Isn't that description of today? What in the chaos is going on? You know,
Exactly perfect. What in the
cooking,
chaos is going on? I think I'm going to use that more.
you know, and so, and we're not seeing what the transition is, but we're energetically experiencing it. So we're kind of being asked to hold still a little bit in that pause so we start to understand it. That this is what we're sending to the future, and our reactions are sending to the future. Not just, oh, I'm going to heal the past. It's no, I'm creating the future. And of course,
Right.
on the 28th is that big new moon. Jupiter goes retrograde. Jupiter is a planet of expansion. So the expansion that's stepping forward is your expansion internally. What are you starting? Because Jupiter is in Aries and it's going to head back to the lessons of the previous 12 years for a very brief time. So, what do you think when you think back in 2010 till now has been your change that you're bringing into the new one? And so I'm very excited for this spark of expansion and where, take a look at, if you have your chart, what house is that helping? Mine, you all get to watch it because it's in the first house. It's in the house of the storefront for me. So, which happens to also be Aries house. Mine's in Capricorn, but it's the Aries house. And Capricorn's an interesting player this week. Capricorn which is structure. A lot of the week is just being held. Even Saturn, the planet that rules Capricorn, is quite a few squares this week. So there is something in our structure other than early on in the week that we are being held to look at. So I love the last card you pulled because to me, in the nest with the heart, that's exactly what we are. What are we going to sleep with our heart? And on the 29th, is the Islamic New Year at sundown. So there is a new celebration. So there's already that's a big part of the world that is celebrating new. So that vibe is stepping forth. And we are getting ready on the 30th for this big conjunction at 18 degrees it's already started with Taurus and Uranus, and then Mars hit 17 degrees. So our will and this North Node for the world, what are we valuing? What is stepping forward? Again, what's that heart that's in the nest? Perfect card. So overall this week, it's a rolling stone, but it's rolling and it hits a pebble.
Here's what I wrote down. What in the chaos is going on?
What in the chaos is going on? And that really is a great question to learn to ask. What in the chaos is going on? And that's the being careful with your words. So it's really chaos, but in awareness too. What in the awareness is going on in this?
Okay.
In this,
careful with your words.
Careful with your words. Yes.
Right, because like I said, I heard yes, yes, yes as the answer to your questions, but be careful what you ask for. And like I said, I could have asked when things were not going very well. I could have asked what's next, or okay, now what's going to break. I could have asked those questions. I didn't, and it could have come out differently. So
and tonight is something amazingly unusual in my life. I am by myself. I'm at the lake house, but no dogs, no husband, no children, no friend. No, it's like, I actually can't remember the last time I didn't have a dog, a kid, a friend, something.
Just the goats knocking.
Stop.
All right. I've got a few last little things here from messages from the guides. Focus on the positive, which I think is a great card for this week. We all have positive things, and that's a kind of the whole blessings and thanks, the abundant universe. Focus on the positive.
Mm-hmm.
Your beliefs are right for you. So this is another great message because you're sorting out, and I loved how you said that, Kitty. We aren't so much looking at the past right now. We're being asked to look at the future. So what are your beliefs going forward that you want to, embrace, I guess, if you will, and never judge another. So there could be times, you know, always right now, that's just a good message we should have for a lot of weeks, because there's a lot of energy out there right now that, yeah, just don't even go there.
Well,
Never judge another.
I mean, the lady who came behind us in the line
Yeah.
after wait starts in on the young cashier, and they can't find people to work. So please don't pick on the cashiers. It's bad enough with that, And um, he said to her, "Well, it just wasn't worth it trying to communicate." She said, "Well, it was worth it to me, and I'm going to complain." And I just leaned over,
Yeah.
and that was all I could do is say to him, "Have a good day," you know.
Yeah. Well, and and that's just it. You could have got in that whole judgment too of, of several different ways you could have pulled in some of that negativity if you wanted to, but you didn't, and that's cool. So
Well,
and
and
right now there's just a lot going on right out there, and there's a lot of judgment going out there. So this includes yourself. Don't judge yourself either for anything that that's going on in your life, because I got to keep going back to what Kitty said, because I love the part where we are like, you know, releasing things or looking at things for our future. We've done a lot of that past review, and I really think this is the review and reflection going forward. What do you want to take in? What do you want to hold on to? What are your beliefs?
well, and it, it is so much nicer, this new place of, is this really what I want to think of in my internal life? Like, get into what you should have been doing, since I have no power over it. And I walked away going, she's going to get really upset about that. And there were days in my lifetime I would have been there right with her, indignant about this was the system. And I was just kind of laughing, going, and why would I want that for my internal world? Again,
Right.
What in the chaos is going on here? I mean, really, it is that step back. What in the chaos is going on here? So, without the
I don't know why
judgment.
that cracks me up, but that's just, I can just hear myself saying that. What in the chaos is going on? And I can just hear people looking at me like, what are you saying? It's funny.
Because Uranus is also the awareness. You can say the word awareness. What in the whole awareness is going on here?
Yeah.
I'm aware of this lady in this interaction. What in that chaos awareness is going on? And it's a lot nicer to ask yourself the question when you start to get into it: is this really what I want my internal world to be?
Exactly. Is this, is this what I want to, embrace? No.
And I think that is the habit we are developing, so that we can send more expanded energy forward, because then we aren't dealing with all the other pieces of clearing. We are just sending forward energy for us to get along the way. So,
and that's a great way to think about it, because what do you want to send forward? What are your beliefs? What is that positive energy? What are those blessings and thanks that you can send forward? I love that. I really, really think that's a great way to look at it.
Right. I mean, like for you today, you and your husband didn't, let's just deal with this and on we go. I laughed. My mother-in-law and I just laughed because it just got to be funny. There was just this spark about, okay, we're just going to go with it.
And my husband's not usually the laugh it off type when that kind of stuff goes on. But I do have to appreciate that he didn't get really upset, and that he just said, okay, here's the cable for the garage door. Can you take that in tomorrow? And here's the number for the appliance place. Can you call them? I mean, it was just kind of like, he kind of was in that space too, where I was. It's, you know what? Life happens. Are these things that stopped working were well used, had been around for a while, and maybe it was time for new. So, I get that, but I appreciate that he didn't get in there, so I didn't have to go, oh, you know what, this just happened, me trying to bring him out of it. He just didn't even go there. So both of us just stayed calm and hauled our groceries to the to the garage. So
Right. Sabrina is the one that says I definitely need to work on what I'm letting into my energy.
yeah.
Joanne has had 2 treadmills. She wasn't sure what she was going to do, and she's to the need. So these, it's like last week when I found the bank
cool.
card from the lady. I'm really enjoying helping people.
Yeah.
The universe is presenting me opportunities to help people, so that I don't have, so that I prefer not to like go out of my way and have this battle
Yeah.
inside myself about boundaries. Here are great ways I can just present and
Yeah.
help, and that
Right.
are a piece of it. Speaking of that, belated happy anniversary to Amy and
Oh,
Intuition of the Soul.
yes.
2 years on Friday.
Yeah.
Um,
Last
we talked
Friday.
last Friday, the 22nd. We talked all day. We did. We actually, I think we talked like 4 times that day.
Probably more than usual.
Probably more than usual, and laughed and reminisced. And the next day I went, oh yeah, you know.
Well,
So
I don't know either. No explanation for that. Just where you're like, oh. But it was
so
nice. But yeah, yeah, I like that too, Kitty, that the universe is presenting us stuff, situations, maybe circumstances, bringing them to our awareness. And it's a perfect opportunity to say, how do I want to react to this? How do I want to, what energy do I want to give to this? Can I focus on the positive? And all those things that that we have been working on. And so I think that's awesome that we're being presented with those things, and yet
and,
we're just kind of
and can
knowing
I
what
read
energy do we want to put around it. I
right? And
love
can,
that.
um, several times today I revisited. Um, when something comes up and it bothers me, it's to feel it in the moment and not assign it a pattern, because that's how I get into the ain't it awful game.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
feel it in the moment. But many times today, I actually got to look at, I might have gotten into that. So we celebrate those things. We're coming up to this new moon, so we're getting opportunities to see what we've let go and other ways. Um, yeah, hi Sabrina. I can see. I've got my phone, so I knew that comment was you. But yeah, I do think you definitely watch, and if you can take the pause, I think that's the pause part of the message today about pausing. We got all kinds of opportunities to pause and choose how we were going to react.
I think you're right. That is part of that review and reflection, and even that communication card was, how do you want to communicate that out? You can, perfect example with the lady that was getting really upset. You could have stepped in it with her. You could have, uh,
Taking her
give her an
on all
evil
the
eye, the
stuff.
stink eye, or something. You could have done so many different things, and you stopped and paused and just said, I don't want to get into that. I don't want that to be part of my energy today. And you just,
And
so yeah,
I'll send the blessing to the cashier. Have a good day.
yeah,
Thank you. You know,
yeah, because
like just to
the
break that.
cashier is probably the one that needed it.
And
She
part of
didn't
me,
really have
I
much
honestly thought,
control in it, and it's um,
part of
and
me,
she probably has to deal with stuff like that all day with people that
oh, it was a young
abuse her.
man. It was a young man, and you
Sure.
know, he was working, and so many people, they're short of help, and so
Well,
I'm
that's what I
sure,
meant.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm sure, you know, some of the things we ran into today are businesses that have limited their hours because they can't get enough people to work, so they're
No,
closing on Mondays now, so that people can have a day off in this. I live in a tourist state, and this is their tourist season, and
yeah.
so
Well, I think these are great messages for this week. I love it. I mean, they all seem to really resonate. I was kind of a little uncertain how my cards were going to go with the stars, but I think actually, and they went really well. So,
Oh, they went super well because I sat there, even though I tried to write down with my eyebrow pencil, my eyeliner. I wrote down your cards. The fifth house, Leo. The 47 is 11. That's the blessing house, and that was what the card was.
you wrote it on your
Um,
eyebrow.
Yeah. And the sword, the ace that rests, that was it.
Yeah.
That is the pause. That is
Yeah.
what is it? Be gentle with people's hearts.
Yeah. And focus on the positive and what beliefs or your beliefs are right for you. So what are you going to take in? What are you going to put forward? I love that, Okay.
So.
All right.
Other thing we're going to mention on Thursday, we have a gentleman, Daniel Montez Stahl, coming on. He's coming on to talk about it. We're actually going to be guests. So is Joanne Angelberry Colin, who's here, on a channeling seminar symposium that's coming up, and it's and he's going to come talk to it about us. You can sign up. You can actually get the recordings of that, so you can have it as in a library. He'll be on it on Thursday night to come and talk to all of us on this platform and get spooky. So it should be a good symposium. It's coming up pretty quick in August. So if it's a dog day of August, hey, then be inside where it's cool. I'm wondering about tonight. I am a person that likes air conditioning. And I am not sleeping in air conditioning. It's a little sticky tonight, so we'll see how that goes. It's been a long time since I haven't slept with air conditioning.
Well, the spirits will bring in the cool breezes. So.
She's awful. She's my friend. On that note, namaste.
What in the chaos is going on?
What in the chaos is going on here? What in the awareness is going on here? So. That's our new tagline.
Okay. I'm better. Okay. So, I guess I got to end the broadcast, don't I?
Yes,
you everybody.
Aloha oi.
Aloha oi. All right. Have a great, fantastic, wonderful week. And join us on Spirit Communication tomorrow night if you feel the urge. It should be fun.
Please do. All right.
All right.
Take care.
See you later.
Bye.